Hey, it's Gabboy, and I'm here to give you guys a tutorial of Deer by Cavetown. I did my own cover of this song a little over a year ago, and I got a couple of requests for a tutorial. Those were also a long time ago. Sorry for not getting to them sooner, but they're happening now. Keep leaving requests, and maybe I'll also get to them in like 6 months. So before we start, I covered a live version that I saw on YouTube, and I will link that in the description. I just like it a little bit more because it's more dynamic throughout the song. If you're just going to be playing with the guitar, it helps to be more dynamic with your playing, whereas his original version is just a 1, 2, 3, 4 strumming pattern all the way through, but he's got other instruments to back him up. So if we were to play by ourselves, I like to follow this live version where he does some more picking and changes up the strumming a little bit more. Okay, so our chords for this song are going to be D9, G major bar chord, A minor bar chord, C major bar chord, a B minor bar chord, as well as B major, and just an E minor open. So like I said, this is following a live version. You don't have to do it exactly how I am. You can switch these to open chords if you'd like, but the way I did it in my cover and the way I'm going to be teaching it here is switching between bar chords and open chords to just add more variety to your playing. You can just choose one if you prefer. Make it easier for yourself. Go on ahead. It'll still sound great. So what's the pattern of the chords for the song? Well, it doesn't follow a typical pattern necessarily, because a normal song, I would say, follows a strict chord progression for the verse to the chorus, bridge, things like that. Well, this song has more variations on the chord pattern and slots them in however he chose within the verse and the chorus. And so we will just talk about these two variations first, and then talk about how they fit into the verse and the chorus. So the different variations and their patterns. The variation 1 is D9, G major, A minor, and C major. And that D9, I think musically sounds better if you think of it coming at the end and he throws it into the beginning, like at the beginning of the song. Just for some flavor. It'll make more sense later. Please look at the tab in the description because it's a bit of a wonky set of chords to follow. So the second variation is a B minor, which is sometimes a B major. I'll get to that. An E minor, A minor, and D9 to finish it off. So those are your two chord variations that you use for the entire song. Not that complicated, but it'll take some memorization to remember which comes where. One more thing to add is the picking pattern. So if we were to just demonstrate on our D9 chord, we're only going to be using these middle strings, not the low E, not the high E. We're going to thumb the bass, first finger, then middle and ring, back to first finger. That is all the picking pattern is, and it just repeats. So typically, it repeats 4 times for every chord. For example, 2, 3, 4. And you'll do that for the rest of the chords throughout the rest of the song. Sounds lovely. Let's go on to playing the actual song. To open it up, we're starting with a chorus, and we think of that D9 being at the end, but we're throwing it to the beginning in this case, if that makes sense. So start with your D9, but we're not going to play it through the 4 times, like I just said we would do. I like to just do it twice, and then thumb the bass note for the 3rd time, and leave it, start singing. Begin the pattern for real on your G chord. That would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, Everyone's got a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Switching it up again, there's a bit of a walk up from this A minor to the C. So, from our A minor, we'll do a picking pattern 3 times. On the 4th, we'll hit bass note, first finger, go up to a B minor or a B major, whichever you prefer. I think I normally do a B minor. You thumb the bass again with the first finger, and then you start the picking pattern again with your C. So, the way that sounds is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Finish off with your D. 2, 3, 4. You're going to be repeating that twice, like you can see, and then we're going to switch it up to that second variation. So once you come to your D9 for the second time, technically your third if you're considering the first time that you played in the very, very beginning. But once you come to that D9, after playing through those, you'll switch to your second variation, which is the B minor, and only hit it for twice. Same with your E minor. 2. So it's half the time of your regulars. Then, before you go back to your B minor, you're actually hitting a B major this time, just for some more variation and to match the note that he sings. So the exact same thing with the B major instead of a B minor. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you kind of hit it for that 4 this time around to add a little bit of spice before you switch back to your other variation, which is your G. So that's the end of your first chorus. You can see that you will just go back to your normal first variation between the G, A minor, C, back to your D9. But this time around, we're playing that G twice, and then switching to open chords rather than our A minor bar and our C bar. As you can see, we're gonna go back to our first variation while holding the G for twice as long. So you're gonna hold it for 8 counts rather than 4. And our other chords, our A minor and our C, are gonna be open down here by the top of the neck rather than the bar chords. And there's a little bit of a flourish, and I'll teach that in just a second. So, just the plain Jane way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time for the flourish. On that G, when you're coming to the end of those 8 counts, you'll add a slap, and that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So your thumb and bass, first finger, and where you would normally pluck your middle and ring, you're adding a slap on that top string. So after you've slapped, you're gonna come to your A minor where there's another flourish, a walk up to a C. 1, 2, 3, 1. And then you repeat that to your 4. So your A minor flourish is pretty simple. You'll play through it to your 4th time. 1, 2, 2, 3, and on your 4, you're going to thumb and index finger again. 1, then hammer on to the 2nd fret of your A string and hit your 1st finger again, and then you're back at your C chord where you just begin the pattern again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Now we're at the verse. Everything before this was chorus. We're going to be using the first variation all the way through, just one time, playing it for the picking pattern 4 times, all the way through. And you can add the flourishes if you want. I found this kind of difficult when I was learning to sing along with it. Add them at your own pace whenever you're ready. So it just goes through like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. On that D9, I like to add a strum on 4 just to transition into strumming for the rest of the song, which is what I would normally do here. So that would sound like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then add some percussive strums to spice it up. And then we're going to be switching to strumming. Alright, now we're at our second chorus. This time around, we're strumming it rather than picking it. So we're just going to go with the first variation, then to the second variation. It sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's where I like to interrupt the strumming pattern with just one strum and more percussives. Once we get to the second variation of the chorus, we'll add in some percussive slaps to interrupt the strumming pattern. So we'll hit it once, flavor, B major, I like to hold that one twice as long. And now we are going to the last verse of the song. We're almost done. Okay, we've reached basically the end. We're at the last verse. We're going to be using the second variation, and I like to switch it back to picking to kind of ease out the rest of the song. So, very simple, like we played before. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we're holding that 4th one to build up the suspense before we hit the first variation, like we did after the first chorus. So we're having the G twice, and you can play the solo over this. You can decide not to play this at all and just end the song right there. So whatever you choose, or just play through the chords. After that last verse, we've just got chords for the rest of the song with the solo over top of that. You can learn how to play the solo. I've tabbed everything out in the description. I'm not going to be teaching that here because just follow it along and you'll be good. But you can just choose to play the chords or just end the song with that final verse. I find that when I'm playing it by myself and I don't have the solo over top of it, I like to just end it at that last D. But if you were to have like the solo over, or you just wanted to end it out on those chords, it's going to be like at the end of the last chorus where we've got double G, then to your A minor, C, D, and then repeat that one more time, and then you'd be over. That'd follow you along with the solo as well. Record yourself playing those last sets of chords, try to solo over it, it'll sound great. Here is how you play that little outro right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat it one more time. And on a G if you want that nice resolution. And there you go. That takes us to the end of the song. So you can check the links in the description for the cover that I made, the live performance of Cavetown doing it, which I used to make my cover, and the guitar tab that I tabbed out based on the live performance, including the solo. So if you want to learn the solo, go check out the link in the description for the actual video to play along with, and the guitar tab to see the proper fingerings. Thank you, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you around.